I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually, I'll be going home this afternoon with some follow-up schedule, but really no answers yet. So still kind of wait and see. But I get to go home.
Good. It's great to
That's
see.
good.
You're looking good, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just, before I just got back into lifting after surgery and then this came up and
Yep.
I don't know when I'll get back, but I'll just ease my way back into it. I'll get there.
Absolutely.
You will.
And you guys, I mean, everybody that can hear this, everybody that watches this video later on, this whole community has been just as much of a support structure as my wonderful, amazing wife, who is sitting just off to my left here, and keeping me grounded and moving forward. So
Yep, absolutely.
thank you all.
You got it, Ray.
Anytime, we're all here for you. Just keep getting better.
Thank you. That's the plan. Hopefully I get some more answers and better solutions moving forward.
Hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. So I'll be on here as long as I can and just kind of listen, but as soon as they tell me I can get out of here, see ya.
Hey guys, I'm just waiting for old Coach Nic. I'm gonna give him a text here. He's getting ready for Worlds this week, so I'm trying to give him a little bit of slack if he's not 100% on being on time. So
Well, I've got to just say how amazing it is that he's even willing to do this with us today, considering where he's at in his prep work. So kudos to Nick, and it's just the pump app is awesome.
we appreciate that, Ray, and I appreciate the fact that you are. I mean, everyone already kind of gave you your flowers already, but you know, I don't want to hype you up too much, so I'm just not going to
Yeah.
say anything at all.
If my head gets too big, I won't be able to get out of the hospital room, and I really, really want to get out of here and go home. So it's all good.
Love it, dude. Thanks for being here in your hospital bed. That's pretty awesome.
Maybe the pirate forgot how to log in.
He said the link was invalid. I'm like, everyone else figured it out.
We're all here, dude. Something's invalid, but it's not the link.
I'll send it to him again. One sec.
That's funny.
Sorry, guys. This is what you deal with when you know, guys like Nic, they're really good at their jobs, but when it comes to technology, it's just a difficult experience.
Yeah, he's calls himself a caveman for a reason.
Yes, he does. All right.
So the last few meetings, the Zoom link has been the same, but this time it changed. So he might have expected it to be the old one. I did too. I tried the old one and it said, no, this is for November 7th. So I looked and realized it was a new link this time.
Sweet. Well,
I just click on whatever the link is in the article. So
now that's a forward thinker right there, everyone.
that's how I do it.
How's your race prep coming, Jeanette?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Last week I had to do it on the treadmill, like the shorter walks and stuff, because it's been raining. I'm in Washington State, so it rains here. But on Friday I'm planning to do my longer walk because I want to get a couple long walks before my race in December. So
exciting.
It's the 13th. It's the second week of December, so
we'll be cheering for you.
Thanks. I've been doing half marathons for like 3 years, so.
Well, you got me beat on that. Ray don't run.
Yeah, I remember one of my first ones, like Jen actually would give me pointers because I came from her at her Foriana app, so I've known her for almost 3 years. So
Wow, very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, if I'm running, you better be ahead of me because there's something bad behind me.
Hey, I do my half marathons as a walker, so
Ray, you should just run out of the hospital and see what happens.
Right now, I think if I tried to run, I would fall on my face. Uh, I was actually feeling really good this morning. I was feeling pretty strong, and then the vertigo came back, and it's just nonstop. One thing after the other.
You'll get through it, brother. No,
It's
you will.
coming.
Here
But
he is.
I made it.
another
There
plug
he
for the
is.
pump app, because in the past, something like this would have derailed me for weeks, months, years. And I know that this is going to be, as soon as they tell me I can get to the gym and do something, I'm going to be doing something. I don't care if I'm just walking a half a mile. Whatever I can start, I'm going to start. So I see the caveman made it.
Yep.
That's right.
Hey, Nick.
What's going on, guys?
Well, we're
Hey,
just waiting for you.
Yeah, I was trying to I had to download this. I don't bring my laptop because it's like another thing because I have to pack like a portable sauna and so I do it all on my phone. I had to download the app and it was giving me a fit.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, guys?
how's
Well,
it
we got
Like
going?
this.
doing this. Thank you for doing this when you're so close to your competition this week. And as soon as they let me check out of the hospital, I'll be out of here. But good luck. Hopefully, we can see some streaming of your competition.
Yeah, I got to figure out what they're streaming it with this year.
I I I sent it to Daniel. I don't know if he put it in your article with the Zoom link. I didn't see it, but I'm sure
Okay.
that would
No,
be.
I'll throw it in. Is that the only option?
As far as
Uh,
I know, it is. OSG is a little bit more PPV kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so
Um,
everyone knows it's a pay-per-view or
Ah,
Oh, okay.
membership type thing, but I'll put the link in and then we'll ask Nick's wonderful girlfriend to share videos with us so we can
yeah,
share on
she's really good about that.
so
Because
we can keep everyone that way on the Pump Club Instagram
yeah,
updated.
Love
I'll
it.
just be texting Rachel and put up his event videos. So
yeah, she's very on top of things. She's kind of like I'm very chaotic. She's very like she plans like retreats and does this stuff for like in the fitness and wellness world. So she's naturally equipped for logistics, whereas I fly by the seat of my pants. Um, so she's very good at communicating with Catch and my like honestly she's the one sending the videos, and my coach, my nutritionist, keeping update on my weight because I'm just like I'm going through the motions, I'm checking my boxes, and like I literally just finished my last half liter of water. It's the last drop of water I'll have till noon tomorrow. So
Wow.
um, we're about to polish off all the. I was 95 kilo, so a little over 210 pounds. I've got to get down to 198, so I'm gonna do about 11, 12-ish pounds in just sweating and water. Um, so after this Zoom meeting, I'll set up my portable sauna and then I'll just sit there and mindlessly sweat in intervals until the plans to get down to like 91 kilo tonight, not get too low because my weigh-ins are at noon. So my sleep isn't too bad. And then I'll wake up, weigh myself. I'll probably be, the goal is to be like 90 and a half, 91 in the morning, sweat off the last kilo, go weigh in, get hooked up, take an IV bag with vitamins, then take an IV bag with fluid, take a third if necessary. We time it. So if it takes longer than the second bag takes longer than 30 minutes, I won't need a third. Um, and then do my about 7,000 calories of refeed, which is probably 70% carbs.
That sounds
So
brutal.
Yeah, it sucks. It's literally, I call it the first event, and it's the worst one. I don't look forward to it. It makes
Yeah.
me think, why do I do this every single time I do it? And I'm heavier. Uh, I'm hitting the limit on my frame with being in the 90 kilo division. So I want to win worlds one more time than not have to do it as a 90 kilo. And then who knows? But the weight cuts are getting real hard.
All right.
We're
Does
with you
anyone
in
have any
spirit, man.
questions?
Yeah, let's get some questions. I'm on my phone, Noah, so I can't see anything versus I can't see anything other
Are
than,
you talking
you
about
know,
chat? If anything pops up in the chat, I'll tell him. But yeah,
okay,
nothing yet.
cool.
I
So Nick,
finished my
Yeah, so let's
program this week.
okay.
sorry, Jen.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Nick,
awesome.
I had a question. So I'm coming to the end of a program as well. So I should finish on Sunday. I've not done the 1 rep max tests before, so I'd like to give that a go, but I'm not sure what to do when I end my program. How long do I leave it? And do I need to do anything in preparation for doing the 1 rep
Yeah,
max?
so this is what we'd call a deload. So you finish your program. Are you testing on squat, bench, and deadlift, like everything?
Yeah.
What I would do is I would take next week and do some speed work, nothing over like 50% of your like projected 1 rep max or your goal 1 rep max. And what we want to do is we want to ingrain the good cues. We want to focus on our walkouts, our unracks, bracing before we move, packing the lats, all those cues we've been working on under light load, and that's called neural work. So we're ingraining that muscle memory, that habit, and we're still moving, but we're moving in a way that our body's recovering. So we're not really taxing our nervous system. And then we take that week and kind of do all those movements. So like take how you're training in your split and mirror that with this. So if you're squatting, whatever days you're squat, benching, and deadlifting, keep that the same, and then test in that order. It would be honestly, I would test bench first because it's going to be the least taxing. Then I would go squat, and then I would go deadlift. And you can do that across 3 days. So you can have a day off in between to give you the best. Unless you want to do it in a powerlifting format, then you're going to squat, bench, then yeah, you're gonna want to bench, squat, deadlift, or squat, bench, deadlift, whatever. I mean, really, whatever you prefer. So yeah, you want to give your body a little bit of a deload. If you get 4 days into it and you're like, I'm ready to go, then take a day rest, and then send it on the first one. So, if what's your training days right now?
So just now I do it's a 4 day split. So I've got 2 day upper, 2 day lower, and I tend to train on a Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday, the weekend
Okay.
off.
Okay, so do that. Speed work, neural work, get a light assistance, like efforts like 1 to 4. Like it's nothing. Assistance should be like do some movements that get a pump. Shouldn't be anything crazy, and then run it on the following Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right, okay. Thanks for that. Okay.
Of course.
Although I've given you a couple of form checks to do on my squat and my deadlift, and I'm not sure if I'm there yet. So if they're not locked in, I might just drop back into another program and make sure I get the technique down before I try and 1 rep
I
max.
mean, it doesn't, if it's mostly there, it doesn't, it's okay to see where we're at. Even if you hit a max and there's like some in the tank, that's great.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, great. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Nick, you have one question from John Hartley in the chat. Do you do old school sauna where you wear the garbage bags?
Oh, I used to when I fought. I don't, there's, I don't now, mainly because every time I get out of the sauna, I have to get on a scale and track where I'm at. So it's just another thing in the process. So I'm sweating so profusely at that point. It's so nonstop. It's not really. It doesn't really do anything because I'll be sauning for so long that I need to treat it like a marathon and not a sprint. So when I was fighting and I needed to, because typically when I was fighting, I kind of had to stay around my weight. So I had to keep a constant management, especially like the week of. Versus this, we got to keep weight on when I'm training, so my body's resilient. And this is like I'm probably going to be sauning in and out of the sauna over a 10-hour period. So it's going to be more get in. And the deeper you get, the shorter your tolerance gets. So I'll start doing like 20, 30-minute sessions. And then those will turn into 3 to 5 minute sessions by the tail end because you get out feeling like you're about to pass out. Sometimes I've gone to the point where my heart does some weird things. Going into ASM, I was heavy because of how close Santa Monica was. My body couldn't get the inflammation out, so I was sitting heavier. My body was still trying to hold on to weight to recover, but the weight didn't want to come off, so I had to push to the point where I was having like audible hallucinations in the sauna, and I almost hit a point where I was like, this is not good. I might need a hospital. So no, I don't do the trash bag suit or the sweatsuit anymore because it's such a long game process. It's not going to make me necessarily sweat any more than I would be 20 minutes, 15 minutes sitting there anyway. Plus, I want to get I use an old credit card or an old bank card. And while I'm sitting in there, I'm scraping the sweat off of my skin. So my body's producing more. Next question.
I had a question for you, Nic, as far as prep.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through the whole process of watching your water intake, doing the sauna, and you're trying to get down to make that weight to hit that 90 kilograms, which obviously you want to get as close to that as you can. How does that affect you as far as now you have to put some weight back on? You're going to do like a carb load and then get ready to, you've depleted yourself. Now all of a sudden you're going to go exert yourself to an extreme.
Yep.
How, I guess I've never really understood that, taking all that away from yourself and then all of a sudden you got to pump it right back up and then go lift all this stuff and win a competition. You're not the only one doing it, but
yes.
How does that process work as far as your body?
I mean, it's brutal. It's like, obviously we'd perform better if we didn't have to cut weight. But the top guys, we're so good at refeeding. We tend to hit numbers that we didn't hit in training. Like I never pulled anywhere. I didn't get up to my heaviest 2 bars in my deadlift medley. But I know that on game day, I've got about between adrenaline and all the other stuff, I have an extra 30% in the tank that I didn't have access to in training because I train low arousal versus compete high arousal. So we leave that switch to be flipped. And that's just me. Some people train high arousal. I don't. As long as you do it correctly, you can be you can still do well. But you've got to know that it costs something. Like, obviously we'd do better if we didn't have this colossal weight cut in front of us. So it's just a matter of being very, very thorough, being on time. Like, for example, we actually load water before. So like I had an 8-liter day, a 10-liter day, and then yesterday was 12-liter day. And then I have 1 liter done by noon today. And what that does is it loads us up with water and we start urinating. I mean, you're pissing by the third day, you're going to the bathroom every 15 minutes. And what that's doing is that's pushing all that sodium out and minerals, that the things that hold the water in your body. So when you start sweating, it sweats out. Your body's not holding on to anything. So a big part of it is not only just replenishing the hydration, but you got to replenish the sodium and the minerals. And you go from getting all crampy and stuff to when that saline and that IV hits your system, like there's this rush of cold, and it's like this, like it's like an immediate gratification. I don't know how else to explain it. And you kind of wake up and you go from being in like this lull to this switched on.
Energy insertion.
Yeah, pretty much. And the reason why carbs are so important in this is because it's fuel based. We need to get those that glucose and everything back into the muscle, back. Whereas protein is very satiating. And I don't run on a high fat diet anyway, so fat's like still a lower macro. Fat we'll use after contest days, but that refeed is mainly carb focused with some protein, and especially with like my nutrition pays attention to all the neurodivergent stuff, the ADHD, the autism, and there are studies showing that a higher protein diet is more conducive to the dopamine production in neurodivergent versus neurotypical. So we keep protein really, really high. Like my only food today was six eggs, six egg whites, spinach, and green peppers. No salt, no seasoning, nothing. But I got a really high protein content while I'm still flushing fluid. So it has a big impact, but you can mitigate with refeed and how you cut the weight.
Definitely sounds brutal.
Sorry. The question in the chat. My gym has new equipment, a pendulum squat and a belt squat. I've been interested in trying them, but the app doesn't use them. Can I add a note indicating I'm using a belt squat when a barbell squat is listed, or am I modifying and not trusting the program? Arnold AI suggested sticking to my program, so I'm leaning towards that.
100% stick to it, because a belt squat is different. A belt squat is, unless you're injured, shoulder injury, something, waist up injury, a belt squat is not working the same as a back squat. Reason being is a back squat requires our entire body, our core and our back and everything to bear the weight, our legs to move the weight per se. A belt squat loads us at below that torso line. So yeah, you would be changing the outcome of strength gains if you were to switch with a belt squat. A belt squat is more for if you're injured or an assistance movement to get some more leg work in without taxing the upper body as much. So if you're talking about swapping out a compound lift for that, 10 out of 10 don't. You'd be doing yourself a disservice.
Benoit has his hand up next.
Hold on really fast. Nick, if someone's if they have a leg press in their workout, is it okay then?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. That was my thought, because it's closer to a leg press probably than a squat, right?
Yeah. You just can get different variations between the two. You can kind of sit back more on you can kind of do the same thing on a leg press. You put your legs higher, is the same thing as sitting back further away from your feet on a belt squat, versus being more over your knees and bringing your legs lower on or more over your feet on a belt squat is the same as putting your legs lower on a leg press. So they do the same things. It's just one, your back is braced against something on a leg press. It's just you go upside down with one or the other, but they are virtually. It's like a RDL and it's like an SDL comparison. They're two very similar means to the same end. Benoit had his hand up.
Yes, hi Nick.
What's up, dude?
First, yeah, good. I'm your buddy from Instagram. I wanted to say thank you for the great spotlight I got twice on there. It made me fly up through the sky. I was so happy to see myself. It was like passing on TV. Um, and I wanted to say good luck for your coming competition as
Thank you,
well.
Benoit.
Uh,
Hey, give that thank you to Noah. He's the one controlling what and when content goes out. So he's the one that puts you up there, puts you front and center, and you've had a very night and day transition in how you move. So it's just your progress is very good. A, look what's possible. B, this is how effective this stuff can be, especially if you're working hard, implementing the cues. And there's a ton of people on here working hard, right? So it's just you've had a very visible progression.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm implementing all the tips you're giving. I write them on a board, and before my workout, I read them all, and I make sure I remember them doing my exercises. As I said, doing the full tension helped me to think about my full body and avoid breaking my form. And talking about that, that's actually my question. I noticed that I am losing my brace when I am getting exhausted doing squats. So I know that I still have energy in my legs to push, but the brace is fading away, and I don't want to get injured. So my question is, if I feel I have the energy, but the brace is going away, should I just stop there, take a longer rest, or what?
When you say your brace is fading, is it in the set or the overall work?
During the set. Let's say I have a set of 6. I feel it quite heavy, but I'm able to reach 6. But then at 3, I'm exhausted. Maybe my breathing is not good enough, but I really tighten my core. I tighten everywhere, like I'm using the full tension, and I get exhausted from doing that. So in the middle, my abs start being weak, and then it's the lower back, and then my muscles are pinking here and there, like I'm losing it. So I'm like,
you can always back off weight as you progress in the working sets. If you're starting to fold, maybe you're starting a little heavy too early, and that's why. But I mean, the brace gets taxed just like your legs, and the core for everyone will always be the weak link. There's no, that doesn't change for anyone. Everyone's legs are going to be able to outdo their core. Everyone's posterior chain is going to be able to outdo their core because it's so much more muscles involved than this one central thing. And this is why bracing is so important, because it will always be the thing that goes first when you're going heavy or fatiguing out, because it's constantly working. So just this is where learning in your lifting journey to adjust weight accordingly on the spot, and being able to lift intuitively, be like, oh shit, I really folded on that one. Let me back off 5-10% and run it there for the next set. So don't overthink that. It's normal. Just intuitively adjust that weight when needed.
Okay. So even though the legs are able to push the weight up, like I'm still like until now I reached 6, but then I felt it was a bit loose, and I was like, well, it's because I'm breathing a lot, and then because I breathe, I relax my abs, and then it's like
you're breathing at the top, right? Like and then going and then holding that air.
I push it down, but then maybe I'm keeping it there. I'm not breathing enough, maybe, or no. I try.
If you're moving with the weight, you shouldn't be breathing.
Okay.
That's how brace works.
I brace going down, and then I blow going up.
Don't blow going up. Hold that air till you get near the top, and then as you're locking out, you can exhale. But like,
okay.
If you're moving weight on a squat, down, up. Because if you're exhaling, coming out of the hole, like you're losing it.
Okay. Okay, yep. That's probably one thing. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and good luck again.
Thank you. So we had a question. Had a past issue with sciatica, piriformis pain, and left buttock that's returning 2/3 through dumbbell dominance. Driving to Akron and back this weekend was 14 hours total in the car, which wasn't helpful. I can return to PT, but wondering what I do need to keep in mind technique-wise going forward to make it go away and stay away permanently. But you can absolutely make it less and less frequent. One, I need to see how you're moving to see if there's anything that you're doing inherently that could be triggering it. So, Roscoe, if you haven't submitted a video on the movements that piss it off, please do, so I can try and evaluate that and give you, God, mosquitoes in Texas at this time of year are ruthless. I'm getting hammered. Submit those videos in the movement patterns that typically piss it off, so I can evaluate and see what's and then from there you can do what's called Don Tigny's. I got my phone, so I can actually, and I got room, so I can demonstrate. A Don Tigny is a very simple movement. I do them regularly. They're the first in my warm-up, my off days. There's something I do every day, and I actually do them while I'm driving. So it's unilateral, so I'm just going to lay on my back. I'm going to bend one knee, and I'm going to drive this knee towards my toe, head on the ground. So my right butt cheek comes up, and I feel a little bit of a stretch in my hip flexor. I'm going to switch sides, hold for 5 count, and do that 3 sets of 5 each side. And those to simulate while you're driving, you can kind of use that straight leg to put against the floor and just subtly do the same thing, driving that knee over the toe.
Okay.
Is something that has really helped me on long drives.
All right. I'll put together some videos. I've got like jump squats with dumbbells and lunges and stuff like that coming up. So I was going to try to get them in before today, but I just didn't have a chance. But I'll put them in for next time.
Yeah, please do. Bird dogs are a good one. There's a lot of the Miguel 3 that covers that would help with that.
Right.
That is, they Catch and Adam put together a really good combo with that Miguel 3 because those are really solid movements that can cover a lot of issues in that glute, lower back, hamstring area. And then also a 90-90 flow with your hips. So what that would look like is you just make 2 90-degree angles, right? So you're here, I have a 90 and a 90, and I'm just rolling back and forth, trying to get both knees on the ground. And then I'll do it 5 times each side, and then I'll reach across and try and get my chest to the floor, stretch, and then I'll come down over my knee, reach across, stretch, get as low as I can on both sides.
Okay.
Ugh. Rolling around on concrete and getting nabbed by mosquitoes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Yes, we are in like Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth area, I think. I think the contest itself is College Park Arena, I think. If anyone see people asking about that. But yeah. We have any more questions or we want to hit form checks?
Just a quick question, Nick. I think you said, or Ketch has said in the app, that you're running a new program that you're testing out with him that's more kind of athletic movements. Is that coming into the
Yes.
app anytime soon?
Yes, it is. It is an advanced level program. It's called Workhorse. So you've got strength focus and work capacity focus. So you're kind of training, you're training like an athlete. And this is the kind of training that I won amateur nationals and became a pro on. This is how I trained for years, and built the foundations that I have now. And they ran it. There's some adjustments with some certain movement patterns I need to make. I plan on sitting down and doing that after all this settles, because Ketch also wanted to put 55 pounds on his deadlift before New Year's, and he's Ketch. So we're going to try and do the impossible.
And would a program like that translate well to playing sport as well? Because I play squash as well as do weight training. And I'm
play
just trying to work
squash? You
out
play a
sometimes.
vegetable?
No, squash is racket sport.
Hold on. I have a question for the Q&A. What the hell is squash?
Do you know what racquetball is?
Oh, it's the same thing?
It's like racquetball.
Okay. That
But
shit's intense.
as usually, Americans take a sport that's played in the rest of the world and they create their own version, which is called racquetball, but squash is what the rest of the world plays.
Yeah, we did it in 1776 with the revolution as well.
We do things our own way.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe earned the right is a better way to put that.
Today's Q&A, we're going to make everyone exhausted of Americans.
To answer your question, it is, since I've done the program, yeah, it's going to help you, I think.
Yes.
Because you're learning to do powerful movements at the set very quickly and supersetted with each other. So you're basically bringing your heart rate high and then still having to use power.
I call it power on demand. So like we generate fatigue and force you to move explosively. So it's going to be a real. Here's what I foresee happening. Total transparency. I see people biting off more than they can chew with this one, realizing this might not be where I'm at yet, but it's going to be a good target to have. And then for others, it's going to be, oh shit, I like training this way. Like this is good. This is hard. This is challenging. And like any other program, what you put in is going to be what you put out, but you're going to have to take recovery more seriously because it's going to ask a lot of you. It's going to be different. Power on demand is such an important thing. Look at construction workers, guys that are laborers shoveling asphalt, stone, dirt. You're tired, 8 hours in, but you got to do more. So it's the same thing, a tale as old as time. Giving gas pedal when you don't feel like you have any more or want to give any more. So when it comes to sports, there's huge translation, huge correlation, especially with something like racquetball or squash where, you do have that duration, right? And you want to make each swing count, right?
Yeah.
So generating that power on demand when you're tired.
Yeah, so I guess more where I'm coming from is if you're on a program like that and you mentioned recovery, if I still try to play a couple of games of squash a week, that's quite demanding as well. So it's it's trying to work out a program that I can run along with playing and training
I
squash.
told someone this the other week. If you have these other goals outside of your training, it's okay to modify your effort within training to align with those goals, right? So you're like, I want to be a better squash player. This is something I love to do. I don't want you to move that out of the way and be miserable just for lifting, right? I'm not expecting you to be a world-class powerlifter where this needs to be your priority. If you go, okay, today is heavy percentages, but I know if I keep my effort high and I draw back on that a little bit, or on the flip side, I had an intense squash game yesterday. I know I'm going to be a little bit taxed, and you go into that training session knowing I'm a little cooked. I'm going to, do what my body allows me to do, and that's okay. So, again, like what I said with Benoit, the intuitiveness with this is also very important when it comes to, like, the other gentleman is a hockey player. And as a hockey player, know what hockey demands. Or former hockey player. It's okay to modify and give and take with that thing, right? So I want you to go and enjoy squash. I want you to go have fun. I want you to get better. I want you, if it's something you love to do, absolutely let your body work around training as necessary to support that thing you like to do.
Yeah, because I guess I'm doing 2 days upper, 2 days lower just now, like I said earlier in the call. And when I've done a heavy leg day, if I try to play squash the next day, I just can't move. My
Yeah.
legs won't get me around the court.
Yeah, so there you go. Here's a new learning curve. Learning how to train and coexist with the thing. Because, like, it's cool to train to get stronger and just be healthier in general. But, like, I also want to be better at squash. So how do I make that work into my training? And that's just going to come down listening to your body. And Catch, I feel like, had a real breakthrough with recently being sick and this deadlift program. We had to make some adjustments, and instead of telling him what to do, I was like, what does your gut tell you? How's your body feel? And we had like 3 options of how to pick back up on the program after being sickness. And I said, what mentally makes the most sense and allows you to be the least neurotic Catch about it? And he said this one. I'm like, boom, that's what we're doing. So that was me giving him a chance to do this intuitively. So he needs to trust him and his body. And I'm not an all-knowing coach, right? Like, I don't know your body intimately. So that's where you're going to have to learn and practice giving and pulling back to align with those goals.
Something I want to say really fast is we have a lot of people who have other sports that they care about, and that's really important. So, like, one thing we tell people is it's fine if you do a program like the Foundation that's full body and you do 2 a week, because you have a sport to play on 2 days. You're fighting, you're doing jujitsu, you're doing squash. It's okay. And there's a study we're actually reviewing right now to share in the newsletter where it was a 10-month study, and they had soccer players do 3 types of training. One was plyo and sprint work, which you would expect, functional training, and one was just 2 full body workouts a week along with their soccer practice. And the group that had the best change in sprint speed, change of direction speed, and jump height was shockingly the 2 full body sessions of strength training a week group, not the group that focused on sprinting. So I want everyone to remember that this stuff should help your sport.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing I'd just like to add is that I had a Achilles injury earlier this year. I managed to maintain most of my weightlifting, some exercises I had to modify. I've had about 6 months of not really playing a lot of competitive squash. But when I went back, even just doing my 4 workouts a week, I wasn't doing any real cardio on top of that. And yet when I've gone back to squash, I'm moving just as quick as I ever did, if not quicker. And that's the strength training I put that down to.
Okay.
because it's different. You know, you've got
Yep.
the endurance and being able to work your lungs hard and maintain that effort. But as you're stronger, you don't have to exert as much of your max effort to get around the court at the same speed.
Yes,
That's
it's
my
more,
theory anyway. I'm no
there's
sport
more,
scientist.
there's more potential power available. So like your minimum goes up, right? So it's like you get good at swinging a hammer, right? And guys I've seen guys that do construction for years, and they set the nail and then hit it in with one swing. And to someone who's not good with a hammer, it looks like they just put it in. It doesn't, you don't see their body knows how much power it takes, and it's got such a built-in neural pathway on how they swing that hammer every single time. There's no thought that nail's going where it's supposed to be. So it's kind of the same thing. Like your body just naturally is able to input more when needed without thought.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. Again.
Yep. Mindy asked, I'm curious what the process is from writing a program to getting it in the app. Does everyone have a hand in it? I can't speak for other people with how Adam has done it in the past. I know what I did. I do not write programs probably like anyone else because my brain sees it in pattern. Catch, you might want to I do it in such a neuro spicy way that it wouldn't make sense to anyone else. And I showed Catch what it starts out looking like, and he was kind of like, "What the fuck?" Because I see patterns. So I see patterns in effort. So I break it down into medium, heavy, light days. So there's moderate, heavy, moderate, light. Then there's light speed work. There's light neural work. Then there's heavy. So I see the patterns based on what the goal is trying to be accomplished. And then I take that pattern and then I build out, okay, we have a deadlift priority program. I build out the deadlift days first. And then I build the rest of the program and the efforts around those. So I might take things I learned from conjugate, from power building, from 531, from Norwegian method, Anaconda method. I don't necessarily follow any one. I take what I think is best for the goal at hand and done that way. And because of that, it is literally a 12-hour process for me because I write it all on paper first. I have to see the whole program at all times or else I'll mess it up. Catch, you might be able to answer that on the process before, but I feel like I might have done it slightly different than probably or very different.
Not that. I mean, you probably write it a little differently, but not that differently. I mean, the truth is every program, like, so almost all the programs right now are from Arnold and Adam. Well, all of them in the app right now. So those come from Arnold and Adam sitting down and talking about what movements he wants people to do, what rep ranges. That's why you see a lot of Arnold's classic pyramids and reverse pyramids and supersets throughout. And then Adam basically works with Arnold and figures out the progression for that workout. There are like 10 ways to progress a workout. I don't even want to start getting into that because people don't need to think about it, but there's auto regulation and all these different ways to progress workouts. It's not just reps.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically at that point, they have me do it because I'm kind of the regular person guinea pig. And if it kills me, then we assume no one in the app can do it. Or none of them killed me. We brought in 3 more who actually all worked with me in the governor's office and are all members of the app because I knew that they were the type of people in the app that say they're advanced. And I wanted more of a sample size because I will push myself to the edge probably So I didn't want to be the only sample size. So we had 4 guys run that program. But it's basically sit down, plan the first week, then figure out the progression style to take you through the whole program, and then force me to do it and make sure I survive.
Makes sense.
Thanks. I find that very interesting. I appreciate the answer.
Yeah, and there's no, like, some coaches will, it also depends on the coach, right? Like, some coaches will literally sit down and rip a page, rip it out of 531, or they'll go with, there's program templates out there from people that have, coaches in like Mark Ripito or there's probably, I don't know how many different Russian Olympic coaches that have programs out there that we see now. I forget who the guy was that did the Norwegian method and the Anaconda method, but a lot of that comes from stuff that has been tried and true with, Olympic athletes or high level powerlifting, things like that, that you can kind of take and modify slightly to fit another sport, because of at its foundation, they work, right? So it's really a coach to coach. Obviously there are better coaches out there than others. Some coaches aren't great program writers, some are great coaches, some are really good programmers but can't coach for shit. There's different strengths there's so many aspects to this game, and when you're talking about at least in my background of training athletes and adaptive, the ability for me to write a program comes second or third to the ability for me to read the athlete and figure out what they need and how to progress them, not necessarily on paper, but on cue, mental side of things, because there's much more of a variance with the adaptives than there is your typical athlete. There's much more of a mental side of it when it comes to Gen Pop, than the typical athlete. The athlete, I don't have to get mentally screwed in. The Gen Pop, it's like I've got to show them they can do this and then get them to show up. The athlete I can count on to show up, but I've got to keep them. I've got to kind of keep the leash on the dog so they don't do too much. The adaptive athlete is more so, hey, all these people tell me no all the time. I shouldn't do this or can't do this. Now I've got to be like, hold my beer. We're going to do this. So it's different baselines for the group. So it's really person to person, coach to coach, and as you've seen in here, you can have 100 people run the same program and all get different results. And some work harder than others. Some know how to push. Someone know what their limit is. Some have no idea. There's people that come in and have a 100-pound PR on their deadlift at these pump club meetups. What I see as a coach, this is going to sound bad, but I'm like, okay, you don't know how to push. You're running submaximal effort on the reg, and you haven't progressed in training because you're not digging deep at all. Like some of those people need to be a kick in the butt and introduced to what that struggle is, that grind, versus some people like Catch. I've got to reel in. I've got to Catch's biggest enemy. This is where Catch and I disagree. He thinks his mentality is like this is what's going to do it. For me, it has been my biggest hurdle to get him to progress, is that mentality. And him getting so worked up, he makes the mistakes on the PR attempt and resorts to old habits. And I'm like, see, this is where we need to get your brain out of it. And you had too much arousal. You worked your nervous system up too much, and you threw everything out the window and went up to that bar and did old things, and you shot yourself in the foot. So this whole program I'm working with him now is is very neural focused, not necessarily. I can only put on so many pounds in 6 weeks, right? So my focus with what I'm working on with Catch now isn't strength per se. It's getting him mentally less neurotic about this whole process and getting him dialed in so there's less thought. There's less arousal, and we're getting Catch's head out of it and getting his body more involved. Noah, for the example, he's getting bored with his training, and the reason being is because what we're doing is frankly really, really boring. We are going grassroots fundamentals, clock in, clock out. We need every rep the same. We're progressing very basic things, and all it was, we threw in some sandbag over shoulder once a week to kind of give him that little hit of dopamine. So learning that person is a big part of programming.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Good. Jacob asks, I finished max strength and changed again to foundation. Nikolai, what do you like more, split programs with leg days or all together? I never really thought about what I like more. I typically train in a 4-day split. So something that gives me, I have a focus each of those 4 days where I have squat, bench, or right now, because it's strongman focused, any benching I'm doing is assistance and it's dumbbells. I don't do any actual bench pressing in prep. It's an off-season thing. So it's typically squat, 2 press days, or a press and a squat, and a deadlift day. So this split has been very alternating for me. So it's been deadlift twice a week, every other week, deadlift with strongman because of the event work. So mine kind of rotates because I've got to cover 7 events. So you can't fit 7 events into 1 week constantly effectively. So things kind of alternate for me. But I like a split where I have a focus every single day, either deadlift squat or overhead squat, and then overhead, let's say, I love, like, if I'm not prepping for anything, I'm going to have squat, bench, deadlift, overhead. Maybe not in that order, but I'm going to hit all 4 of those if I'm just not training for anything. Any more questions?
Let's jump into form checks, and I'm going to bail on you guys because I have to go set up a shoot for tomorrow.
Have fun. All right, Noah, how many form checks we got?
Got 50 on the dot.
Nice.
Sec. Get sharing. Starting with Yannis.
So, Yannis, one thing I noticed is you kind of had like a little stutter step and then you dropped right into it. I want your feet screwed in, your glutes squeezed, you bracing hard before you descend. So we're sure to get that full body tension. Your squat is moving well. It might be that the phone is just lower than you. That gives the illusion that you're a little bit high. But we could probably get a little bit more depth. But if you look right here, you're up, this is good. 1, 2, you're out. And then you do this like little dip before you decide to squat versus locking in, then descending. So it's a fine-tuned detail, but overall your squat's looking good.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. I had this back pain, I mentioned to you like 3 weeks ago, I think. And then I took your advice and also from the master class, but I figured out that it was a big part of that was the warm up. So I do more warm up now, and I don't get
And
that. Plus
there you go.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Yeah, a big win because I've
Yeah.
been trying to do this for 2 years now, and I was getting these huge pains, which I don't know what it was. So
It's
okay, I
amazing
mean,
what
I
a
did
little more
the
priming
form
can do.
changes that you suggested, and then I did I figured I remember what you said, like you answered the question about some weeks ago about how to warm up, and then I started thinking what was working for me, so I went back to rowing, so and it works, I think the best, I don't
Good.
know.
Rowing's like on a rower.
Yeah,
That's a great full body warm up.
yeah.
Rowers are an awesome tool. You can do it as a finisher. You can do it as conditioning. You can do it as a warm up. Rowers are an awesome thing to have, and there's no impact.
Yes.
Good
And I
job,
also
man.
do the Miguel 3 as well. I started that as well, and I think that also helped. So a little bit of these small things,
Good. Well,
Thank
you're
you.
doing great. We're now fine tuning things versus overall squat forms. That's a great place to be in.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Yep, we were a little out front. You see that bar? See how that bar's traveling back and forward? Now you're much better into position. So we were a little bit out front on the first rep, but every rep after that is fine. So these are good, man. You just got to get used to. You see where your arm placement is, how your hands are coming up straight the side of your knees versus you were slightly in front before. You're setting your back. All of this looks great. Bar path on that first pull. Good job. So these are pretty good. It looks slightly, see how we're kind of out front on the descent and our legs kick back. So it's putting us slightly out front. I think if we drop our hips, I mean a little more, and you really push that belly button out towards the floor and brace really hard, it's going to put us more in a position. Our legs will be closer to the bar. You're almost there. I think we need to sit slightly, not, I'm talking a half an inch, man, and see how that looks. But these are pretty good. We can just get a little more legs out of it. Squat depth problem because of hip. What is the hip issue is my question. I mean, you're right there. You're not that far off. Like 2 inches, maybe. Your
Yes,
squat
the depth
looks
is
good. Go ahead.
well, the depth is not yet there, but also because of this hip pain that it
Elaborate
not
on
when
that.
I doing the squats. Squats actually help me. I went to the doctor and they said there is a growing problem or something like that, but I didn't take any X-rays or MRI or something like that. So now I'm switching the doctor to get.
I didn't get any of that. I don't know if anyone. I don't know if that's my connection or
I think it's you, Nick.
what did she say? Because I
He
can
was
hear you.
essentially saying that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nana, but you're saying that your doctor told you it was a groin issue, and so that made you kind of want to move to a new doctor. But that was the part I caught.
Right, because there were no MRI or something like that. I want to know exactly the cause, and because I got some exercises, but they don't help. I think the squat helps a lot, and doing some stretches.
Okay, so basically, we need to get imagery is what we're waiting on.
Right.
Okay, so I would say your overall squat looks good, with especially with us waiting on the first step of this injury assessment with this imagery. I think you're doing a really good job self-advocating. You said, hey, this doctor's not good enough. It's not doing enough. I'm going to switch and get a doctor that will actually find the root cause of this problem. So I want to give you a pat on the back for that. And with that being said, you're moving very well. I think you're doing a good job squatting within the range of motion that causes the least amount of pain. So I'm not going to urge you to go deeper until we get that imagery. I think you're doing all the right steps. I think it's great. So let's try and get that imagery and then see what's going on, and then we can go from there.
Right. Thanks.
Good job. Next. It is on a Smith machine, so I know bar path is going to be slightly different. This angle, it looks, there we go. Now we're talking. So I'd like to see your feet come slightly forward, because if you look, the Smith machine's kind of folding you. And we're almost in like I'd call this more of like a sissy squat position, or like a modified hack squat. I'd bring your feet a little bit forward, and you might have to squat with that incline of this Smith machine a little bit more. Your range of motion's great. We get some butt wink where your hips curl under slightly at the bottom, but I think it's because of where you are in relation to that bar path of the Smith machine. But otherwise, it's moving great. Next. So we're drifting a little bit forward towards the bottom. Let's keep that. You see this heel's getting a little, ever so slightly light. So I want you to break at the hips and sit to your heels first, and then your knees will naturally bend second. And that might be able to get you a little bit lower if we get you a little bit more back. But everything else looks fantastic. So some fine-tuned stuff. We're getting there. These are pretty good, man. Good job. Next.
So Nick, on these, the last time I submitted a box squat video, so I took your suggestion and put a band at the back so I can squat to the band rather than the box.
Mm-hmm. These are good. They're a little high.
So I'm just trying to work on lowering the depth because I've had a knee pain, which is why I'm doing the box squats to try and train my hips to come further back.
But this is good. You've got a good setup. You can incrementally lower that band. No, this is good, man. Your squat form looks good.
It still feels odd. It feels like I'm pushing too far back, but that's why the band's there to try and keep me honest.
I would even potentially lower that bar on your back a little bit.
Okay.
Like maybe an inch. Like think like on the back of your traps.
So
I
I
think
have
you'll
got
have a
that
little.
on. I don't know if that's what's lifting it up as well.
I don't think. I think you have more dictation over the bar. But no, these are good, man. I love how we're slowly progressing this with your knee stuff.
Okay, thanks.
Good job. Next. Single arm cable curls. So these are pretty good. I would like to see, instead of kind of you're kind of pushing up versus elevating and squeezing. Think like our fist has to travel in a semicircle. So we're getting a little bit too much front delt in it versus a straight linear contraction. Because it's really at the top part of the second half of the rep where you're kind of coming up and then raising versus squeezing. Just think about drawing a line from that halfway point to your shoulder. Next. This is a kind of a hard angle. So I can't see how far or close the bar is to his body. So this is a stiff leg deadlift, if I'm assuming correctly. I'd like to see a little bit more exaggerated in that posture. Really proud chest, super neutral spine. You've got the right idea. You're almost there. Really push that butt out behind you. Push, like Catch says, push a door close behind you. Next. I'd like to see that more from the side next time. That'd give me a little bit better. Pullover recheck. Yeah, these look way better. She's getting further back. She's not really doing a tricep extension.
My tires need inflating. I had to order a tire inflator. A tire
Cool.
inflator.
Hey, Noah, mute yourself.
Like a mobile.
These are good, Elise. I've got no problem with these. Well done. Next. In squats.
If I can, yeah, I'd eat goop.
Hey, Noah,
Just to
you don't care about your tires.
Wow, my bad, guys. I totally thought I was. Stop.
You muted me. Okay. These are good. I'd be curious if, see, pin squats are, what the hell is that? I'd be curious if one higher would allow you to get you a little bit higher in the chest and your butt down. So you aren't necessarily as folded over and forward. That would be something to try on the next one. But these are pretty good. Pin squats, finding that sweet spot in a pin squat, they're just hard because getting down under there without having the descent just feels awkward. See how high your butt is. You kind of had to kick your butt up. I wonder if getting that bar higher will help you get in that more upright position that you it looks like your body wants to be in. But good job. Next. Okay, everything looks good. I can't really see what the shoulders are doing because the squat pins or the safety arms. Okay, these you got a little bit better on your bar path. Now you're fighting towards your face. That was good. Yes. Okay, so you sorted it out. That was what I was going to say. Is pushing that bar back up towards your face. With the safety arms there, I can't really see what else is going on with the rest of your body, but those looked good, especially bar path. Next. Did we get any gum so I can keep spitting? Is it sugar-free? These are pretty good. Yeah, I mean, your bar path's fixed on these. I love the range of motion. You can actively see him squeezing. Like, you see that press coming together at the top. Those are pretty good, Matt. Good job. What's the total carb? 1 carb. It's fine. That'll work for now. We'll need to get some, like, Trident. Because that's, especially when I start the sauna, so I can just keep getting fluid out. Yeah, so these are kind of where, see how he's pressing down and out? One way to fix that is simply sliding down the bench a little bit, but then you'll be coming a little bit high because at the bottom we're where he wants him to be. But that's just the nature of that machine. I would say slide down just a little bit.
So I've been struggling with my shoulder, and so that's the neutral grip, and it seems like I'm pushing out and it's straining my shoulder. I can do more weight. The problem is when I put more weight on, my shoulder just starts flaring up, even if I'm in that same position. So I can't get my chest worked out enough, it seems, on that machine. And maybe I should just switch to dumbbells, you think?
I absolutely think you should switch to dumbbells because it allows you to manipulate your bar path according to pain.
Okay.
That was a really good question, and I love that you had that thought.
I'm learning.
Yeah, I would absolutely switch to dumbbells. Plus, you can get a little bit more chest focus. You know, that little squeeze together, like kind of like you do on a fly. You can do that with a press too, and get your, keep those shoulders tight and your lats packed.
Same with push-ups. I can't do a neutral grip, right? So I tried last time 2 dumbbells with a neutral grip and doing it that way, and that seemed to be a little bit better. Maybe it's just experimentation. I'm trying not to flare my elbows out. You probably see it better on the next one.
Yeah. Your push-up form is beautiful, by the way.
Thanks.
How does that feel?
it's like I said, I can do enough. I'm not getting a flex in my chest to where it's making that much of a difference. I'm not sore in the chest after doing these
Your
exercises.
triceps are going to be jacked. I mean, they're already jacked, but they're going to be even more jacked.
It just seems like I'm not getting that stress in my chest. It's on my shoulder and my arms. So
yeah. So let's switch to dumbbell on the press. And I want you to be, the main thing I want you to be focused on is that cue of putting our shoulders down and back on our lats. So when we press, we don't get this motion. We stay in here.
Okay.
With so like, think about like, I'm trying to keep my chest proud the entire time. So as I'm coming down, think like I'm pulling my chest to the dumbbells, or figuratively the bar, right? And then as I'm pushing out, I'm trying to drive my upper back into the bench and squeeze my chest together. So I'm here, but my shoulders aren't coming around it. Keep your shoulders back and down on those lats.
Okay.
Sorry I'm spitting so much, guys. I have to keep. I literally won't swallow spit all day just because it's another way to get fluid out. Does one shoulder hurt more than the other?
Yeah, my left. So the right
I
one
can
on this.
see it.
Yeah.
Yep, makes sense, man. That was a really good brace. See how she pulled her back into position? She's emphasizing that cat-cow. She's getting that cue. Good job, Laura. I like these. So the only thing I want to see you kind of emphasize a little bit more is think about speeding your hips up as they come to the bar. I want you to, yeah, that was a good one. You could see your hips kind of slam into the bar. That's what we want. Big glute squeeze. Good job. So you got a couple of reps where you really did that really well and a couple softer ones. So just keep that in mind. Slam my ass cheeks together. Violently progress to the bar. Beautiful, beautiful job emphasizing that cat-cow. So once we get good at that, we don't have to constantly do it. This is something that I like to use to ingrain that physical cue of pulling your back into position. And she's doing a really, really good job of it. Next. Good. Got those elbows up. I'd like to see that from a higher angle to see where that bar is on your shoulders. It looks like you're fighting it a little bit because we're kind of folding at the bottom. And then we're starting to shallow out. Overall, you're mostly there. I would like to see a different angle on these next week, so I can see the actual bar placement. So what I'd like to see is that you actually want it up kind of on your collarbone, trapped behind your delts. Like it's going to be deep, so we can really get upright and have upward drive into that bar, and we can kind of keep our upper back together. Because you actually fold upper torso first, and then it goes down into the midsection. So, and maybe it might even be worth bringing our feet a little bit closer together. Yeah, let's also bring our feet slightly closer together. That might help us a little bit on depth. You're doing it mostly right. It's just we gotta make some slight adjustments to get your positioning a little bit more dialed. But you got there with your deadlift, which means we're gonna get there with your front squat. Good job. Next. Great job. Those elbows, there was like no movement. Nailing these, Carolyn. Good job. Next. Big jerk off the floor. But that looks like a PR. He looks pretty freaking stoked.
Yes, sir.
Which is awesome. So if I looked at this from the side, first off, congratulations. Was that a lifetime PR?
It was.
Nice job. So you hit really hard out of the hole, which is good. But you see how you jerked, and I can see it from the front. Your hips immediately kicked up. So that's where the delay was from your input to the bar actually coming up off the floor, was that jerk put you out of position versus having a hard input, but a steady input.
Okay.
So what it is a matter of when we get that heavy, we need to be prepared to bear the weight. So when we jerk like that, it pulls all that tension out because it's like surprising our muscular system with that weight. Jerking only works when everything is incredibly strong and it's a load light enough that it doesn't actually break down the form. So if we, instead of jerking on the bar, we have a hard input, but it's steady, and just be patient for it to come off the floor, I think you'll notice that weight will likely speed up as you come up off the floor.
Very good. So steady, not jerk. I got it. Thank you, Coach.
Sir. Good job, man. Congrats.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Obviously a lighter weight.
Yes. So because of your input on the first rep, I want you to dead stop on the floor every single rep. So we ingrain that to our muscle memory.
Got it.
So pull every rep like it's the first. Stand up, come down, rebrace, stand up, come down, rebrace.
Got it.
Because that was pretty good. I like that.
All right. That's good to hear. You guys are the experts. Let's stop every rep.
Good job, man. Next.
Thank you, sir.
This is borderline strict pressing like a log press because the diameter of the bar. What he's doing really, really good is he's fighting that bar back over his head. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Wow. I live in an anemone. Ryan's good at lifting, man. Yeah, these are great. I love these. Next. It's the mustache. It's got to be. RDL 2.0. I remember we went over some of these for him last time. Little less leg bend, but I love how far back your butt's going. So a little less leg bend. You're almost doing a conventional deadlift with dumbbells. It's closer to that than RDL. So let's do less leg bend and keep everything else the same. Good job. I like this progress. Next. We don't have to get it all in one go, guys. If we put a piece of the puzzle together every week or 2 weeks or whatever, that's great. These are beautiful. Carlee, you move really, really well. She's actually in hyperextension borderline, which when she gets to a weight that's heavy where she's got to fight, I think we'll see her spine a little more in the neutral plane, which is what we actually want. But I'd rather have this than any flexion. Carlee's, I would call her hypermobile versus, if I remember, her stiff leg deadlift stood out to me because she was doing them to the floor and it looked easy. So everything else is great. She's got plenty of anterior pelvic tilt. She moves very well. I can see her bracing. So she's hitting all the right things. I kind of want to see her struggle on a rep and see what comes out so we can make adjustments. This all looks easy. Next. There we go. See how her back gets much more neutral, just as I thought. She's got a higher effort squat, put her in more of a neutral position. So this is good. Fantastic, Carlee. Next. It looks like some really high heel elevation. Yeah. But the depth is awesome. He's flirting with even doing like a hack squat almost right now. Everything looks good, man. That's just a lot of heel elevation for a back squat. Next. These are good. So as you pull, your hips are trying to cheat forward a little bit early, which is creating that flexion in the lumbar. I'd like to see you create that neutral spine. Bring your hips up slightly and push that belly button out towards the floor, and that'll create a much more neutral plane in your back. Otherwise, everything is really good. It looks like you've got nice long arms for deadlifts, which is good because it can allow you a higher starting position. So we start with those hips a little bit up, push that belly button to the floor, that cat-cow cue you saw Laura doing earlier very well, will put us in a really good position. But this is really good, man. So just some subtleties we got to change. Next. Yes. So quit looking around. Lock that head in. So that first rep is fantastic. I know you're probably trying to see your position, but I don't want you to see it unless it's on a video. I want you to feel it. So we want to keep that spine neutral. That means head forward. I think you're slightly out front. It's hard to tell. But that first rep was your best rep. So you really emphasize that cat-cow, got into a neutral position with the back. This one, I think your hips kick up. Yep, sat too low, so your hips rolled forward. Try and mimic that first rep. That first rep, you nailed it. Keep that head locked forward. Next. These are kind of like a sissy squat because your feet are so far out in front of you due to the Smith machine. Or even a hack squat. Like this is kind of how you'd move on like a hack squat where your back slides with it. Sissy squats where you lock your feet in and kind of sit down back behind you. Let's get your feet more underneath of you and kind of push with that axis of the Smith machine. But not a bad start. Not at all. Next. Awesome. Nailed it. Those are as pretty as they get. Well done, Eric. Love it. Keep running with it. Next. I need my phone charger. A little bit of a soft lockout. But everything else looks good. Eric, you're moving really well, man. I'm on board with this. Next, yeah. Eric, you're making my job easy. Great bent over row. These are awesome. Power. He's got some speed on these reps. Just cranking them out, man. Well done. I don't like seeing people put speed on a set until they get it down technique wise. And Eric's moving really well. So that's why you didn't really hear me say anything about, the speed there, because he was very well put together. John, these are pretty good. I'd like to see you really squeeze those glutes and get to your hips to the bar a little bit faster. But your positioning is looking good. I like the direction this is headed. Look at that brace. Yes. So your hips can come through a little sooner, honestly. You're staying a little bent over longer than you need to. So right about now, boom, fire hips through. Next. You're sitting a little bit forward. Heels are getting light. I want to see you sit more back to your heels. Otherwise, your depth was really good. We're getting a little bit shallow now. Yep, getting tired. Buried that one. So we want to make every rep the same. Sit a little bit more to your heels. Let's focus on that for now because everything else is going really well, and brace really, really hard at the top of each rep. And that should keep you from kind of letting the weight bring you down and forward. But overall, your positioning looks good. I like where we're at right now, but we can fine tune it and make it even better. Next. These are pretty good, Rory. Row a little bit more towards your belly button. Keep your chest proud. Don't think about rowing it into your chest. Row more towards your belly button. Proud chest.
Okay.
Yep. See how that upper back starts to kind of give at the bottom?
Yes.
And those are very strict, which is really good. Just push that chest out, row to your belly button, less towards your rib cage.
Okay.
Good job. Next. Nice. So this is more of an RDL because of the leg drive. A stiff leg deadlift gonna have minimal to no leg drive, which means you don't have to go all the way to the floor. So these are pretty good for an RD. These are great RDLs.
Okay, so I think this has constantly been my problem. So when you're saying leg drive, I keep thinking I'm pushing my ass back too far. So a stiff leg, when you say leg drive too much with this, I think I'm thinking the same thing. I shouldn't be, or is it more of the I'm hinging too far?
No, you want the hinge. The leg drive is, see how your knees are bent and your legs start to pull off the floor?
Yes.
That's leg drive.
Okay.
So stiff leg deadlifts have no leg drive.
Okay.
So it's all hinge.
Okay.
RDLs have a little bit of leg drive.
All right.
Deadlifts have a lot of leg drive.
This is between the two of them. I think I keep watching my videos over the last few months, and I'm like, it looks like I'm doing the same thing, and I don't know where I'm losing that connection in my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
So SDL, no leg drive. RDL, little leg drive. Deadlift, all the leg drive.
Okay. Now you quickly mentioned not having to go all the way to the floor on the deadlift or on the RDL?
On the RDL and SDL. It's where that range of motion ends that you can keep it without leg drive. That's where it stops. And without folding. You're hinging, not folding.
Okay. All right. I'll work on it again. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Next. All right, Carol. So these aren't bad. The way I would get maybe like 10 pounds or so to give yourself a little bit of a counterweight, because you're sitting forward, your heels are starting to peel up off the floor. We need to get you a little bit more back, so we have less fold, more legs. I would widen your feet up a little bit and allow you, that should help with your range of motion, and drive your knees out towards your toes. But this is not a bad start at all. Good job. Next. I had to come inside. My legs were getting annihilated by mosquitoes. They're so itchy. Okay. Ian, these are great.
They, they didn't look great when I tried it because I was trying to do what you said last week and do the cat cow thing. I've got some
Yeah, I can
videos
see
of
it.
just the total
I can
mess.
see you trying to do it. It's just going to take some practice, man. But we're getting there.
I did notice that as I try and flatten my back, my bum's coming down a little bit. Is that okay?
Yes, as long as your bum's not shooting back up when you go to leg drive.
Okay.
Probably even let it come down just a little bit more if you can get into that cat-cow position.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get my hips a little bit higher, but I think I need to try and go back the opposite way to flatten my back out.
Let's this is where we're playing with it a little bit and seeing what, now that we're implementing that neutral spine, where our hip position is going to be. Because right here, your hips aren't shooting up, which means it's going to be no higher than this, but it could be slightly lower.
Okay. Yeah, there were videos I did, like even when I'm doing bent over rows or RDLs, when I'm setting up, I'm still videoing it and trying to get that position to get it off the ground. And it's just a lot of, like flexing my back and doing the cat cow and trying to find the right position. But I tend to find that last bit, if I really try and turn my pelvis to the floor, top of my pelvis to the floor, it drops my bum down. So I just didn't want to get too low and turn it into a squat.
No, this is we're making little adjustments, so that's a good call. Good job.
Cool. Thanks, Nick.
Amelie, these are looking great. Gravitate forward at the bottom, so then you got to come back. So what we need to do is bring your butt up slightly. It's going to pull your knees back slightly. And that bar is going to go in right up against your shins. And you're going to do everything else the same.
Okay, so more sit.
No, less sit. Hips up.
Less sit. Okay.
Just a little. Hips come up. Knees come back a little. Bar goes right up against your shins. Keep everything else the same.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Good job. Next. Where'd he go? Okay, there we go.
It's an attempt at SDLs. I don't feel it. I don't know what I'm doing there in some way. It's weird.
You need to get your hips back further.
Okay.
Like you really need to exaggerate that hip pushing back motion. Like
Okay.
even to the point of your toes getting light.
All right. Okay.
Because the further you push your hips back, the more you're going to feel it stretching your glutes and hamstrings.
Okay.
Yeah, just exaggerate that.
But I didn't want to do the RDL, and yeah, I'm confusing a bit in between those two.
You know what? It's not a big deal. Either
Okay.
way, if you're not getting your hips back, you're not going to feel it in either.
Okay.
So let's not worry about them being different. Let's just get this hinge pattern in the stiffer leg variant being
Okay.
RDL or stiff leg version of the. I don't care if it's a hybrid for you right now. It's not important. What's important is that we get that hinge pattern down and we exaggerate it in that movement.
Okay. Okay.
But you've got the right idea. We just need to go a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Next.
So this one, I saw two manner of doing the dumbbell high pull, and I'm showing both, and I don't know, I don't feel it as well. So I
Yeah, because you're just doing it with your arms. It's a full body movement.
So that's the way Coach is showing it on the video.
Oh, you're just doing. I thought you were doing the dumbbell variant of like the barbell high pull. So yeah, that's better, but it needs to be heavier. Like
Yeah. So in the app, so in the app we see Catch doing it the first way I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw another guy doing it like in the form checks.
Yes, how I teach high pulls is explosive full body movement. Up, catch, down, up, catch, down, up, catch, down.
Okay.
Yep. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'd even try it with a barbell.
You wouldn't use the dumbbells?
Huh?
You wouldn't use the dumbbells?
I personally only ever do them on barbells.
Okay.
Yep. Plus, when we add the explosion into it, I think it'll make a little bit more sense with one unit in your hand versus two dumbbells.
And like maybe I'm getting the name of the exercise wrong, but how is it that Catch is doing it the first way I've done it, like just lifting my arms?
Because there's a high pull like you'd use on a cable or something like that, like with a rope attachment. There is a high pull, but these high pulls, when it comes to the strength training block that you're doing,
yeah,
we want that explosion. That's what's going to carry over to your strength work.
In the descriptive text, it says that you're about to jump, but you stay on the floor. But when I looked at Catch, he wasn't lifting his feet at all. It was only the arms moving.
Well, so I'll tell them that they have the wrong video with the explanation.
Okay. So again, maybe I'm wrong, but
no, it sounds like the video they gave you with the explanation is incorrect because we want this. And trust me, I had Catch doing high pulls and I had to correct him. So he's still kind of learning how to do them as well. But there are strict high pulls, which you'll see like more in a bodybuilding type workout. And there are explosive high pulls, which you see in the athletic manner. And I want you doing the explosive high pulls.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good. Fighting back towards her face. Bridget, these are good. want to change anything at the moment. Just keep getting reps in. That's going to improve with how you're moving the weight currently. Nice. Sometimes like it's not about giving them a cue. Sometimes it's like we get to a point, we let them work it, and then just ingrain that movement where it's at because it's already good. And then we get stronger, fine tune as we go. No, these are awesome.
Thanks. Yes, I posted this one because for the first bench, you said I should also do it screen like in this way so that you see how I hold the bar.
Yeah, that looks great. I love that.
Thanks.
You're a presser.
Yes.
There's everyone's got that one that they're good at, and this came naturally to you, it seems.
Yes, this is my favorite exercise.
You're a presser.
Besides deadlift, but this is the favorite one.
It's okay. I'm a presser too.
Nice.
Good job.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Nic.
Yes, ma'am. Next. Great pick. Matt, these are pretty good, man. You could be a little bit more bent over, but if I'm being picky, you picked that off the floor beautifully. Yeah, good job. Next.
In a while.
Too low. So as soon as you input leg drive, you were kind of where you needed to be, and then you sat down even lower.
Oh, that was a PR. That was a PR video.
Yeah, you've got like 30 more pounds in the tank if you bring your hips up like same day.
Yeah, I'm just coming off of a cold and that was 285.
You've got 3 plates in the tank if you want it right now.
3 plates, like what? Okay.
Kilos or pounds?
345s. Pounds.
Yeah, 315, 345s, guaranteed. If you bring your hips up, you brace correctly, and you get where you need to be so your hips aren't rotating up. The good thing is you PR'd with room in the tank, but this didn't move like a PR. This moved like
normal stuff.
Yeah. So you're pumped, which is good, but the even more exciting thing is you've got way more in the tank. So if you're doing any numbers or weights or percentages in your next program, do them off of 315.
315. Okay.
Yep. So going forward, that cat-cow, bring those hips up slightly, and you're going to be cooking with peanut oil, my man. These are much more potential there with a subtle position change.
All right.
Good
Sounds
job.
good.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks. And now the regular one. Oh, what happened there? I uploaded the wrong one. Oops. Never mind.
All good.
You can skip it.
Coach Nic, I was working on my brace on this one, But in the middle, I remember you saying that shoulder blade, I put it in the pocket. So in the middle of the video, I just correct, I think, myself.
Yeah, I don't see. So you see how when you lock out, you roll your shoulders forward versus keep your chest proud?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to avoid. So that pulls our shoulders out of their pockets, right? So with that slight arch in our back to keep our chest proud and keep those shoulders back behind us. So I want you to come down a little bit closer to like your nipple line versus top of your chest. Think like lower chest slightly.
Okay.
As you're coming down, your elbows stay really, really, really flared. We want them to flare on the way up. We want to keep them slightly in, and that's how we keep our lats engaged and our shoulders back. So we keep our elbows slightly in, and then we flare as we press to get the rest of our chest into it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're doing great.
Jen says for the women, it's a bra line.
I just figured everyone's got nipples, so it's a nipple line.
Yes.
What if they're not wearing a bra? Then what do you call it?
Yeah, invisible bra line.
Hey, these have gotten so much better. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
I love how these
ha
have progressed.
Thank you, thank you. I haven't listened to your voice every time that I do it.
A little low on a couple of those, but the first one, you're pretty much right where you needed to be. Slightly low, but pretty much right there. So I really don't want to change it because look at that. I could see you set that lower back. You try to push that belly button towards the floor. I can see you implementing the cue. I don't want to throw anything at you and let you keep working on that.
Thank you.
Well, that's about that. Does anybody have any questions? Is there any closing statements?
Just to say great, best of luck in the competition this weekend, Nick. Thanks for all your help.
Always happy to help. I'm about to go set up my portable sauna right now and start sweating. So, see you guys next week. I'll make sure my girlfriend will probably keep everyone catching Noah in the loop and with videos and stuff. So, I'm just game time.
All the best, Nikolai, for your competition.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
and
and
everybody.
I'm very lucky.
Good luck.
You guys, see you soon.